Hi there, today we're unboxing a Wi-Fi smart door lock. So this particular product is by ENER-J. Details are in the description below for anyone thinking of purchasing. Let's have a quick look around the packaging. So on there it's noted that it comes with a 2-year warranty. Some details here on how you can unlock the actual lock. So you can use a traditional key method, fingerprint, RFID card, or an app. Okay. Spin it around, see if there's any other details on there. Details on the actual Android app using ENER-J Smart with this. Let's bring it around, same picture as before. Let's look underneath. There's details there, so specification and top features on there. Okay, so let's open it up and see what we get in the packaging. Okay, so I've laid out everything you get in the packaging, so let me quickly go through the items one by one. So initially you've got an app user manual, some details there on installing the app and setting up the actual smart door lock. Seems pretty straightforward and all in English. Okay, next we've got an ENER-J Smart Lock user manual. Open that up. Just gives some details on how to install the product. Looks pretty straightforward, and again all the details are in English. Okay, and then got a diagram to assist in actually installing it. So the actual lock itself, it just gives you dimensions, and you can literally stick this onto your door and you'll know where to drill. Okay, next we've got some fixtures, obviously for the handle to enable you to turn it, and it interlinks with the other one, so different sizes, so that's quite good, and some screws as well. Okay, next you've got 3 smart cards, so obviously the door can be unlocked with a smart card. Then you've got some keys, 3 keys here. Okay, then you've got a plate that goes across, on the actual door frame, and behind that you'd have this sitting, so it would come in like so, just to give you an idea. Oops, it's just like this. Yeah, one thing I don't like about this, the fact it's plastic. This should have really been metal, so like most door locks, so just a thing to note. And obviously some fixtures to enable you to screw that in. Okay, next you've got the actual lock itself, so it can be switched around, and build quality seems quite good, all solid metal on there. And let me give you the sizing just to give you an idea. So it is quite large, so give you an idea, it's 12 centimeters tall, and in terms of diameter it's about just a little bit over 7. Okay, and the actual plate itself on here, it's 16, and width is 2.1 centimeters. Okay, so next let's take a look at the actual door handle. So let me take this side first, just give you an idea of size. It's quite a large lock, so about 26.5 centimeters tall, and width is 6.1 centimeters and depth is 2.5, so a fair size to it. Build quality feels good. Metal construction around there. If I come to the bottom, you've got a micro USB slot there and a key point there, so obviously if the battery did die and you needed access, you can just put the key in and open it via that. If I come round all the way, there's nothing else, so just the 2 there. On the back itself you've got a cable to connect to the other side, so enable it to communicate with that. And just coming in close here, good solid metal construction, so a good feel to it, have to admit. And you've got keypad here, so you can type in a code, or you could actually hold a card over it to unlock. You've got a doorbell icon as well, so if you press that, a doorbell does go off to give you an indicator someone's at the door. Okay, and close up here you got the fingerprint reader. Okay, so that's that end. Okay, so let's take a look at the other side. So again, construction is good. Size wise it's the same as the other one, and metal casing on there, so good build quality. If I come around here, you can see the point where the connector goes for the cable, and just to show, on this side there's a screw, and this is a section that comes off, which I'll show later, and the batteries are put just behind there. Okay, and then you've got a metal bar here. If I turn it, it just pops open, and that slots into the slot down here to enable you to turn the latch, and you've got this here to enable you to turn it. So that's good. Build quality feels quite good on there, and obviously the length of this is quite long, so you can cut it to your requirements. So obviously it will fit thicker doors if you wanted to as well. Okay, and coming here you've got a screw point there which will screw into the other side of this, and some holes that look like you've got the actual speaker on there, so you can hear if anyone rings the bell, for instance. So there you go, build quality seems good. Okay, so let's make a start at assembling the items required for the door lock so you can install it on a door. So I've opened the bag containing all the fixtures, and just to quickly show you the items you get. So these rectangular pieces, there's 3 of them, differing sizes, and they're used for this location. You put them on there, and the other end just goes like so, just to show. And obviously when you pull the handle down, the lock moves. Okay, and if they are of an odd size, you can use a saw, like a hacksaw or something, just to cut this, or an angle grinder, for example. Okay, the next piece to sew are these. So 2 different sizes, and they're screwable at either end. So I'll take the shorter size and I'll screw that in, for instance, at both sides. Okay, and let's take the shortest piece here, and just how it goes over, we'll just put it into position. Okay, that's one end. Just place that like so. And this side here, we want to remove the screw at the top. So if I get my screwdriver. Okay, so now that's removed. You can just take a screw, which is here, push it, and then the lid pops off. And that reveals a compartment where you'd install some batteries. And as well as that, there's a screw hole there as well. So, in theory, you should take this metal piece here, pull it out, and it should slot into the area just there. But I'm not going to slot it in, only because you'd want to do that in terms of installing this, so you'd cut it to the size, but I'm not going to physically install this. I'm just going to demonstrate it, the actual theory of it working. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just connect it like this then. Okay, so that's the basics in position, and if I take the shorter screw I've got, which is this one, that should go in there, and it just screws in, and then I'll take the next short one and I'll place it into the lower piece, and we'll just tighten these 2 up. Okay, the next thing to show, which I didn't do already, is the cable has to be connected into connector there. So that's pretty straightforward. Literally just take it and just push it straight in, like so. And there you go, it's connected. Obviously you're going to have a hole in between, so this can be fed in, and this can somehow be squeezed in to hide it away. Okay, and then we'll complete tightening this. Okay, so the basics are in position. As I've already said, this isn't being positioned only because I'm just demonstrating this, but the idea being this latch here, as you turn it, it'll release it. Okay, so next let's put the batteries in. So pretty straightforward, takes AA batteries, so I'm going to place 4 in there. General lifespan, they say, with average use is around 1 year. And obviously you do have the override, so you can use a key if you did have any issues with it. Okay, so the 4 batteries are in place, and that's the basics ready to use. Okay, so now the door lock's assembled, let me show how to actually use this. So quite straightforward. If I come over to this area, there's a small hole, and that's a reset pin on there. So if I flip it over, get a screwdriver ready to push in there, and just to show what happens on the front.
Initialization succeed.
Okay, so the device is now reset. So, oh, I've just pressed the bell. So that's the doorbell button there, just to show again. Okay, so the first administrator pin is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0 hash. That unlocks it. Okay, so it's simple as that to unlock it, and there's a bit of a delay, and then it locks again. So it's just a short period, so you don't leave it unlocked. Okay, so next I'm going to show how to add additional users onto the system. So quite straightforward. If I press the button at the back,
Please add administrator.
so to add an administrator, quite easy. Initially, let's just type in a code.
Please input again. Add successfully. Please add administrator.
Okay, so next let's do it with my thumb.
Please press the same fingerprint again. Please press the same fingerprint again. Add successfully. Please add administrator.
So you can add 3 administrators.
Add successfully. The administrator is full. Please add user.
There you go. So that's all added. So you could have 3 administrators and users on top of that as well. So let's give it a moment just to reset.
Quit setting.
Okay, so it's quit settings. Okay, so let's show the actual door lock in action.
Unlocked.
Okay, there you go. It's unlocked. You can use the handle obviously to open it up, and it's locked again. Okay, the next one is the number. So if I type in the code I used,
Unlocked.
there you go. Give it a few seconds
Locked.
and it locks again. Okay. Okay, so next let me show the fingerprint unlocking. So if I try a different finger, gives an X, and if I use, has to be in position, in the same position it was red.
Unlocked.
There you go. Give it a moment and then it just locks again.
Locked.
So there you go. Basic features working and quite easy to get up and running. Okay, so next let me show the actual menu options you have available on this. So if I press the button at the back,
Please verify administrator.
okay,
Please add user.
okay, so it's add user. If I hold on to the option here,
Press 1 to delete all user fingerprint. Press 2 to delete all user passwords. Press 3 to delete all user cards. Press 4 to delete all user.
there you go. So quite straightforward to delete the users after you've done it. Okay, so next let's make a start at installing the app for this smart door lock. So I've got my Android phone here. Let's go to the Play Store and we want to search for ENER-J Smart. So it's that app here, ENER-J Smart app. So let's click on there and install it. So let's give it a moment to install. Okay, so now the app's installed. Let's click open. Okay, so next you want to register an account on here. So if I click here, agree to the agreement, and let me enter my details off camera, and then we'll continue after that. Okay, so I've registered my account and let's log in. Okay, so it's logged in and this is what we're presented with. So next we want to click the plus icon here, go down to security and sensor and select lock. So next we need to get the door lock ready to accept a configuration. So if I hold on for a moment to 3 and then hash,
Verify administrator.
okay,
Please make the Wi-Fi by the phone.
there you go. So it's waiting for a configuration now. So if I click here, confirm indicator rapidly blink, which is there, the digit 8 is blinking. So next, let me enter in my Wi-Fi password. So let me do that off camera. Okay, so I've continued on the screen and now it's attempting to connect to the device. So let's give it a moment. So there you go, it's added in, as easy as that. So next click.
Successfully quit setting.
Okay, so next let's click done. And it's gone straight into the device. So with it, let's go through the options. So if I click on the corner here, you can modify the name at the top, device location, check the network, so you can check the network and confirm it's okay. Shared devices, so you can share it with other people. Create a group, so you can group multiple devices together. Device info, that will have details of the IP address, MAC address of the device. Feedback, check for firmware updates and remove device. Okay, let's go back. So if we look at the device itself, you can see a picture of it. And if we scroll across, you have the option to create a remote dynamic password. So if I click on that for a moment, it gives you a code, which is a temporary code. So remote dynamic password invalid after 5 minutes. So if I now type in that number in, so 1628610 hash. There you go, unlocks. So obviously that is valid now for 5 minutes. Okay, so if we click at the bottom, alarm, so no alarms recorded, hijack alarm and doorbell alarm. So doorbell, if I click here, let's go back a moment, go back in, not appearing, let's give it a moment. Let's carry on though. Okay, so next, if we go to users and we click on add user, we have the ability to add in a user. So if I click in here and type in Geek and then street, it's a limitation in characters just to show. Let's click save and it appears there. And we'll create another one called Tom, for instance. And if we go back, we can associate records to the actual account. So if I go on there, you can see dynamic unlock. You can see down there for unlock fingerprint, for unlock fingerprint. So that number is a reference to the person who's unlocking. So for instance, let's try the card. Okay, unlocked. Let's go back in. There you go. Number 3, unlock card. So card was used to unlock this. I click the edit button just for a moment and you can associate it with a person. So you can say Tom has the card and there you go, Tom unlock. Okay, next we've got fingerprint unlock. So if I do that just for a moment. Okay, unlocked. Obviously you do have to position it in a way that it can read it. It's not like a mobile where you've had loads of prints on there and it will pick it up. So you've got to be careful with that one. So there, 4, unlock fingerprint. So I can say that is, if I click on the edit at the side, Geek Street, click save, and there you go. Just gives you an idea, if I scroll down, who's been unlocking it and who's had access to the lock. So quite good. At least you have a record of who's been in and out. Temporary password. So you can create a temporary password. If I click there, you can give it a name. So let's just type in test. Okay, and then time of effect. So you can set in a date and a time and failure time, so when you want it to expire. So quite useful. Obviously, if you want to set something up temporarily, if you've got a guest coming and you want them to have access, just give them a temporary password. They can come in and then that's it, it's expired. Again, even useful for when you have a delivery, you can give it to Amazon, for instance, and they can use that just to deliver your parcel. So there you go, simple as that. And if I look in the corner here, you've got the battery power indicator. So very straightforward, simple as that to set up and use. Okay, so the next thing worth mentioning is smart scenes. So if I click on there, let's click add scene, automation, and if we click when any condition is satisfied, the plus on there, device, and then you'll see the smart lock in there. And there you go, you have these automation functions in there, so you can get certain actions happening when certain events occur. So for instance, alarm, just to show what's in there, go back, remote unlock request, okay, and then we've got battery status. So the idea being, if someone does something like a remote unlock, then you can get it to send you a alert, for instance, or if someone's opened it from the inside, you know, you can send a message to yourself just to make you aware of that. And if someone's pressed the doorbell as well, for instance. So very useful functionality there in automating this whole product to make it even more smart. Okay, I just wanted to show a comparison between the actual smart lock and an internal door handle. So this is an internal door with a standard size handle, you could say, and just to show the difference in size, it is quite large. Not an issue, obviously this is more suited for an external use. Could be used on a fire door, I guess, but in terms of size it is pretty large. Okay, so you've seen the unboxing and setup of this Wi-Fi smart door lock. Really impressed with this bit of kit. The different options available are very impressive. The fact you can type in a key code, you can use a mechanical key, you can use a card to unlock it, and even a fingerprint as well. So really impressed with the functionality. In terms of build quality is really good on there. Only things I didn't like is the physical size of it. It's a very bulky product than looking at a standard handle, which is fair enough because it's got a lot of tech built into it, and the actual back plate here that actually holds the lock in position. I think that should be a solid bit of steel. So there you go. Hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this. Details are in the description below. Thanks for viewing, and don't forget to like and subscribe.